Today, you are going to listen to a very powerful English lesson that also teaches you something important about life. The title of this lesson is Why a Boring Life is the Most Peaceful One. Many people think a boring life is something negative. They think it means nothing exciting is happening. They think it means your days are empty and your story is uninteresting. But the truth is very different. A boring life does not mean an empty life. A boring life often means a calm life, a safe life, and a peaceful life without chaos. When you listen to this lesson, try to follow each sentence slowly. Notice the simple words. Notice the natural rhythm. Listen again if you need to. This lesson will help you practice English, improve your listening, and understand the beauty of living a slow, steady, and peaceful life. Many people today live lives full of noise, pressure, and stress. They wake up too fast. They rush to work. They run from task to task. They speak quickly, they think quickly, and they worry constantly. Their minds never rest. They believe this is normal because everyone around them is living the same way. But you must understand something. A life full of constant excitement can also be a life full of chaos. In this lesson, we explore why a slower, calmer, boring life can actually make you wiser, happier, and more emotionally balanced. As you listen, imagine yourself breathing slowly. Imagine yourself living one peaceful moment at a time. This type of life is not empty. It is full of clarity. It is full of gentle joy. And most importantly, it gives you the space to grow, think, and understand yourself. A boring life often means you have routine, and routine is one of the most powerful ways to bring stability into your world. When you wake up at the same time, eat at the same time, study at the same time, and sleep at the same time, your mind becomes calm. You do not worry about what will happen next because your days follow a gentle rhythm. Many people think routine makes life dull, but routine actually gives your brain peace. It removes confusion. It removes emotional chaos. It creates order. In this English lesson, pay attention to how repetition and pattern help you learn. In the same way, repetition and pattern help you live better. Your life becomes simple. And simple does not mean small. Simple means peaceful. Social media and modern society often make people feel they must live a dramatic life to be interesting. You see pictures of people traveling, partying, and showing their achievements. You start to feel your life is not exciting enough. But you must remember that social media shows only highlights. It does not show stress, anxiety, or loneliness. It does not show the nights people cry, the mornings they wake up scared, or the arguments they have with others. A boring life, your life, might look quiet on the outside, but inside it can be full of peace, balance, and emotional safety. That is much more valuable than attention or drama. In this lesson, while practicing English, learn to appreciate your own path, no matter how simple it looks. A boring life gives you time to think, time to breathe, time to understand your emotions instead of reacting too quickly. When your life is full of chaos, you lose the ability to see things clearly. You make emotional decisions, you say things you regret, you feel stressed and overwhelmed. But when your life is slow and calm, you can think before you act. You can choose your words carefully. You can make decisions with wisdom, not panic. This is why the quiet life is powerful. It gives you mental space. As you listen to this paragraph, practice understanding long sentences. Repeat them slowly. Just like a calm life, slow practice builds strong skills. A boring life also gives you space to build healthy habits. You can exercise regularly. You can eat better food. You can study English every day without distractions. You can clean your home, organize your thoughts, and focus on personal growth. A chaotic life destroys good habits because you are always rushing, always reacting, always trying to catch up. But in a slow life, you become the creator of your day. You control your time instead of letting time control you. While listening, notice how simple English can teach deep truth. Peace comes from stability. Many people misunderstand peace. They think peace means nothing is happening. But true peace means nothing is disturbing you. A boring life gives you this gift. It gives you emotional protection. It keeps toxic people away. It keeps unnecessary drama away. It helps you hear your own thoughts clearly. As you listen to this paragraph, try to breathe deeply and imagine a life where you do not need to impress anyone. A life where you do not chase attention. A life where you simply exist with a calm heart. That is real peace, and that is the greatest strength a person can have. Let's explore why a boring life is often misunderstood. People think excitement equals happiness, but excitement is temporary. It rises quickly and disappears quickly. Peace, however, lasts much longer. Peace is not a feeling that comes and goes. Peace is a lifestyle. When you choose a boring life, you choose consistency. You choose emotional balance. You choose slow joy instead of fast pleasure. Listen carefully. As I explain this, peace does not look exciting, but it feels beautiful. Many people want happiness, but they chase the wrong things. They chase loud moments instead of quiet stability. This English lesson helps you understand why stability is a form of emotional intelligence. A boring life also protects your energy. When you reduce chaos, you reduce the number of people who drain you. You stop attracting drama. You stop attracting arguments. You stop attracting relationships that bring more pain than love. Many people suffer because they keep too many people around them. They say yes too often. They try to please everyone. But a peaceful life teaches you to say no. It teaches you to protect your time. It teaches you that your mental health is more important than someone else's expectations. In English and in life, saying less is often more powerful than saying too much. Another reason a boring life is peaceful is that it removes comparison. When you live simply, you stop trying to compete with others. You stop measuring your life against your friends. You stop worrying about whether you are doing enough. You start living for yourself. Comparison is the enemy of happiness, and chaos makes comparison stronger. But the quiet life helps you see that your journey is unique. When you listen to this paragraph, try to understand every sentence slowly. Let your mind relax. Learning English is easier when you stop comparing your progress to other people. A boring life allows you to value small things. The taste of your morning tea, the sound of birds outside your window, the feeling of clean clothes, the joy of reading a simple book, the peace of sitting alone for a few minutes. These moments may look small, but they give your heart strength. They remind you that life does not need to be dramatic to be beautiful. Some of the happiest people in the world are not rich. They are not famous. They do not have exciting lifestyles. They simply know how to enjoy quiet moments. And this is something you can learn too. A life without chaos also increases creativity. When your mind is calm, ideas flow naturally. You can think clearly. You can imagine. You can create something new. Writers, artists, and thinkers often isolate themselves from noise because silence helps inspiration grow. In your English journey, creativity is important. You need space in your mind to connect words, remember vocabulary, and think in English. A boring life does not limit you. It frees your imagination by giving your thoughts room to breathe. A boring life also improves your relationships. When you live calmly, you listen better. You communicate more clearly. You understand what people feel. You avoid arguments because your emotions are stable. Many relationships break because both people live in stress. They react too fast. They speak without thinking. But a peaceful lifestyle gives you emotional control. It allows you to respond with love, not anger. As you practice English by listening to these sentences, you are also practicing emotional patience. The same slow, controlled approach works in communication with others. Let's talk about confidence. You may think a boring life makes you less confident, but it actually makes you more confident. When your life is not chaotic, you trust yourself more. You know your limits. You know your strengths. You know what you want. You are not confused or lost. Many people appear confident on the outside but feel empty on the inside because their lives are unstable. True confidence comes from inner peace, not from outer excitement. Learning English also requires this calm confidence. When you stop rushing, your speaking becomes clearer. When you stop fearing mistakes, your learning becomes stronger. A boring life also helps you heal. Emotional wounds do not heal in chaotic environments. They heal in quiet spaces, in slow mornings, in peaceful evenings. When your life is calm, you finally have the time to sit with your thoughts, face your pain, understand your past, and release what no longer serves you. Healing is not loud. Healing is silent. Healing requires peace, and peace often looks boring from the outside. But this type of boring is powerful because it helps you rebuild yourself. As you listen to this paragraph, feel each word. Let the slow rhythm guide your understanding of English and your understanding of yourself. A boring life also gives you time to plan your future. When your mind is calm, you can think long-term. You can imagine your goals, you can write your dreams, you can take small steps every day toward a better life. People who live in chaos cannot plan, they only react. But you, living in peace, can choose your direction. You can learn English slowly but consistently. You can work on improving your skills. You can create a future that feels right for you. Peace is not the absence of life, it is the foundation of a strong life. A peaceful, boring life also helps you appreciate time. When your life is calm, you understand that every minute is valuable. You learn patience, you learn discipline, you learn to use time wisely instead of wasting it on drama, arguments, or distractions. Many people waste years chasing things that do not matter. But a calm life helps you focus on what is important: health, growth, learning, meaningful connections, and inner happiness. While listening, take your time. The more patient you are, the better your English becomes. A boring life is also a spiritually healthy life. When you slow down, you become more aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your purpose. You feel more connected to yourself and maybe to a higher power, if you believe in one. Chaos distracts you from your soul. Peace brings you back to it. When life is quiet, you can hear your intuition. You can understand what feels right and what feels wrong. You make decisions not from fear, but from wisdom. Simple living is not just a lifestyle, it is a spiritual practice. As you listen to this lesson, remember that peaceful living is a choice. You can choose to avoid drama. You can choose to stay away from toxic people. You can choose to protect your time. You can choose to build a life that feels safe and meaningful. You do not need to follow other people's expectations. You do not need to live loudly to feel alive. A quiet life, a simple life, a boring life can be one of the greatest blessings you ever experience. And as you make your life calmer, your English learning will also become easier. The mind learns best when it is peaceful. Thank you for listening to this long English lesson about living a peaceful life. I hope you now understand that a boring life is not something to run away from. It is something to embrace. It is something to appreciate. It gives you emotional clarity, strong habits, better relationships, and a healthier mind. If you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and continue practicing English with us every day.